Hey guys, it's Aaron with Syntropy Chiropractic Training, and in this video what I'd like to talk about is how to save your wrists from getting jammed and hurt and inflamed so that you guys can adjust for many, many years to come. What we see, Patrick and I, we train all over the world, and we see chiropractors that are just starting in practice, and then there's chiropractors that have been doing it for 40 years, and we see some very common injuries. One of them is wrist, elbow, and shoulder. Those are the three most common ones. The wrist injuries generally come from cervical adjusting, which is what we're going to talk about now, and side posture adjusting, which we can get into in another video. So what I want to talk to you about today is how can you do seated adjusting, and if you don't do seated adjusting, you can apply the same principles to supine adjusting as well. So some real basics as to what you can do to take care of your wrists, and it all starts with patient positioning. So Martha here is actually positioned perfectly. She's nice and low. A lot of times what we see is chiropractors have chairs that are just too high for them. And so imagine that she was up higher. I'm just gonna crouch down to simulate like she's higher. And what we see is instead of having the wrist in neutral, which is what we want a straight line here where the wrist is pretty much neutral, maybe just a little bit of extension. And it's like a straight line from your ulna and your radius, straight down through your hand to whatever you're going to adjust. So we don't want to start getting angles in there, because when we do, if we have any extension or we have ulnar deviation, it's going to start putting pressure and tension on the carpal bones. And if we do that over time, again and again with rigid hands as well, a lot of chiropractors are pretty rigid when they adjust, and when they put themselves in a compromised position, it just creates injuries and just can't do it long term. So we need to shake out our hands nice and relaxed, and we need to make sure that when you go to set up and you're in proper positioning, that when you're going to adjust, you're not going to rotate around it. I won't get into that right now, that's for a different video, but we want to make sure that when you're going to adjust, your hand and your humerus or your radius and your ulna are in the same line, and they're going exactly to where you want to adjust. So we don't want, imagine this chair is too high, we don't want extension here, and we certainly don't want this sort of movement here with the ulnar deviation, because that just creates so much tension on the carpal bones. So shake out the hands, and then make sure that the chair, if the chair is too low, get up onto a step. If you had a barber's chair, that would be awesome, but not many chiropractors do. And just work with it. Get a step, get them to slide down a little bit if they have to, but you just want to make sure that when you're about to adjust, that they're lined up perfectly and there's that straight line from your forearm exactly to where you want to adjust. So if you do that, it's a small thing that makes a huge difference, and it makes you more relaxed, it makes them more relaxed, and it just gives you those really crisp, beautiful adjustments that just explode from the inside out, but you don't have to hurt yourself when you do it. So hopefully that's helpful for you. If you have any questions, comments, whatever, if you like the video, give us a like, and leave your questions and comments below. We look forward to training with you soon. Thank you.